Craig, Megan, out of that pain came a touching tribute to those victims that now will last for generations.
When I look at them now, I remember how many there were, and they came so very quickly. And as people walked by the mall or walked by the door, they did it with great silence and great reverence.
7 years later, Marianne Sofio remembers the memorials outside the Von Maur store in Omaha. The sounds of that day are still clear in our collective memory. Robert Hawkins walked into the Von Maur store and opened fire for 6 minutes. Afterward, people felt shock, horror, and grief. Soon, those feelings turned into determination to honor those lost.
I just dreamt that I was in the mall and there were thousands of people there putting paper snowflakes up.
And those snowflakes soon piled up around the gate, onto the floor, and throughout the mall.
And they kind of moved the barricades back so they could, put more on.
Jim Sadler, West Road's mall general manager, heard the shots.
It was the worst day of my life.
As Von Maur prepared to reopen 15 days after the shooting, Sadler wondered what to do with the snowflakes.
So there was no real precedence for this, and I knew that if we just took the memorials down overnight, it would upset people because emotions were so raw.
Someone suggested the Douglas County Historical Society.
We were told to be very careful in taking them down so as not to rip them.
Sofio touched and read hundreds of those messages. Volunteers sorted each note by victim, and families chose which ones to keep.
First of all, for the families, we wanted them to have some mementos from this. And also, as the Douglas County Historical Society, we preserve any documents or anything that is of historical significance to our community.
People who were there want future generations to remember more than a shooting.
We don't know the answers why, but again, we can comfort and be there for each other.
They firmly reached out their arms and just wrapped themselves around us, and there's no better feeling.
As for the snowflakes that the families or the victims didn't want, Von Maur kept the remaining. There wasn't a public ceremony at the mall today. In fact, there hasn't been one for a few years. Sadler says it's part of the healing process. Live in Omaha, Kevin Boughton, KMTV, Action 3 News.